Coach Ty back in action to break down the Friday workout. Y'all are going to enjoy this one. We are going to keep the squatty theme that has been consistent over the last many weeks and even months now at this point. Whoa. And we will also stick with the theme of reducing the volume and upping the intensity. By intensity, I mean weight. Now, the one constant among all of those variables, though, is that we are going to focus first and foremost on moving well. We want quality movement patterns. We want proper muscle recruitment. Get those glutes, them hammies, keep that core stable, keep that torso upright, all those good positions and key points that we always talk about. We want you to maintain that as you start dipping your toes in those heavier weights. So let's break down a couple of key points. You guys have heard these from me for the past, like I said, over the last few months. So it's kind of, with all of these key points, a lot of it is just hammering those same key principles that are going to allow you to lift to the best of your ability. So I mentioned them briefly: core tight, posterior engaged, good upright torso, all that good stuff. But let's talk a little bit more about how we're going to strain and endure through the heavier reps, because oftentimes we'll see some people are better at grinding through reps in a slower fashion. Some people are not so good at grinding through slow reps. Some people just haven't really even touched that level of intensity yet, so it's important to talk about it. So one thing that I really like to consistently talk about with squats is pushing through the floor. I say this pretty much every week I talk about squats, but let me break it down as it pertains to grinding through a slow rep. So when you are standing the weight up, oftentimes what we'll see is people start to fall forward and the weight just kind of starts to cause them to implode. Their body just kind of collapses. So I think a good key point, if you feel that sort of reflex start to happen, is to focus on creating completely vertical force, okay? Because now we're leaning forward, that's not vertical. We want to focus, when we get to that point, on driving straight down through the ground. So push the floor away, and that might help you grind out, the last second or two of that grindy rep. So that's one key point. The other one is really focusing on leading with the chest. If we're in like a back squat, we want to think lead with the chest, and hopefully that'll help you stay a little bit more vertical, a little bit more upright in the torso, less strain on the spine, more force as you stand that weight up. Especially important in the back squat and overhead squat, where we see people have that tendency to really lean forward. The back squat, it's kind of inevitable just because the angle and where the barbell is placed on the back rack position. And with the overhead squat, it's difficult because some people just lack mobility in the ankles, hips, overhead, etc., which can cause them to really lean forward in the bottom of that overhead squat. So again, let's focus on staying vertical, everything straight up and straight down. Think lead with the chest up, drive through the floor even more when the rep gets grindy. And then for that overhead squat, let's also make sure we're driving through the bar, because as I said, we see that chest start to collapse and we see that vertical position kind of get compromised. So push straight through the bar as you're descending down and as you're ascending up. That's all I got for today, folks. It's 5x2 back squats, 5x2 overhead squats, keeping the squat theme consistent. Hope you have some fun. I hope you hit some heavy weights, and I hope you keep the movement quality. With that said, I'm Coach Ty. I'm signing off. Peace out.